Hi everyone, how you doing? I finished a companion journal to the one I previously finished, which was the Retro Ladies Vintage Magazine Journal, which was quite large. It was this size, but it had like a 2-inch spine and a hardcover that I made myself. And I had pulled so much stuff for that journal that I had a lot left. So I decided to do another one. So this one also measures 9 by 11, and it's about, an 1.5 inches thick or so. It's one signature, soft cover. This is a file folder, vintage file folder, and has a spine with some vintage fabric. And this beautiful image from a women's magazine. I think this is probably 30s. I think this was a picture to go with a story, and I believe there was a caption under it. It was about sisters, and so I'm calling this Sisters. So I think these are twins, and I just love that picture. So I decided to use some vintage fabric on the inside. I hope I'm all in frame. I've got it up high. This is vintage fabric that I've had for a while. It was a piece that I didn't think would work for anything because it was kind of narrow, but it actually had a little hem in it, which I took out. Then I washed the fabric and measured it out, and it works perfectly. It's quilted, which is kind of unusual. I'm not sure what it was made for. Maybe upholstery. But I love the colors and the design. And then the one signature has, for the outside, a piece of handmade paper from Nepal. And then, so these are pages from a book. I liked them because the architecture was kind of timeless, so I just added a few of my vintage ladies from dress patterns to the scene. And it had pictures on both sides, which was nice. And it was big, so it really worked well in here. I liked the black and white, too. So this is a handmade collage tag. I think this outfit is from a catalog. And one of the affirmation cards, the past is over. This beautiful postcard from 1909. It's embossed. I love the colors. Very vibrant. And a bookmark. Also in these vibrant colors. This is one of my jelly prints using the magazine resist technique. I actually think this probably is my favorite one. I just like the way, I love the colors and the way it came out. And I did a jelly print on the back side also. This is the end of the player piano roll paper, which I cut it off, and I had decided I wanted to use it somehow, and it fits really well in here. So it had a little tear, so I've reinforced it with a strip of cloth with some stitching and added a T-tag. So this pocket has 2 sections, this little section here, and then in the back. And this is some paper I collaged tea bags on a piece of deli paper, so it's kind of transparent, and I like the way those tea bags look. And this is a page from a catalog. So in the pocket in the back is a print from the cover, a print of the cover of the Sour Milk Recipes, which is a journal I have made previously, and I just thought the cover was so pretty. I did scan it, which I'm thankful that I did, and I made a little pocket to add this little tea stain journaling card in. Also a check from 1955, and some ladies having a fancy tea party. And here's a lady, she's making a cake. That must have come from a scrapbook. I get a lot of old scrapbooks, and take out what I can, and a Monopoly card. There's the other side of the catalog page. Tea-stained doily heart. This is a little tiny gift enclosure card, and I like that it opens up for some extra writing space. Some collage things on this pocket, and inside we have the Commencement Booklet for a 1925 class at Eagle Rock School. And I like this. I thought the color went well. This is actually not vintage, but I just like the look of these postcards. I think I picked them up in a display of, you know, holiday brochures and stuff. Not holiday, vacation. And a collage tag I made, which is nice and big, because you kind of have to think big with this big page size. In some ways it's great, and in some ways it's a challenge. So this is a vintage magazine page. It was a little fragile, so I added some washi tape here. And look at the cover of this. Isn't that gorgeous? This is a Cosmopolitan, I'm thinking from the 30s. And just a little Franken page here for writing. An old negative. One of the Hollywood glamour shots, that's Katharine Hepburn in 1935. Should put my glasses on. Loretta Young. So here's a little flip out. This is an image I just cut out of one of the old magazines. I'm sure it went with some kind of story. I like that picture. And then on the other side it has the 16 latest Charleston's records. So you can learn how to do the Charleston. Gorgeous ad. And this is an envelope. I turned it into a pocket. Had a little tear in it, so I used some of that faux cellophane tape that my friend Pam makes. So this is the title is Sisters, and I like this picture of these two sisters. And I decided to turn it into a cover for just a little notebook to include. And then it has this little tag here, which I did not make. Sisters Matter. I think it's adorable. I love the picture. The person who made it added a little bit of sparkle to their hats. And it's in a clear bag pocket. If I can find it, it's clear. There we go. Collage on the inside, and then just layers of different hand-dyed papers. So onion skin, avocado dyed, tea stain. So that goes in here. Here is a library pocket. And these look like they could be sisters or friends. An empty blue chip stamp book for writing in. And a page from a children's book, which I added a little spray ink to, of course. This, so back in the, I don't know if they still do this or not, probably not, but back in my mother's day, nightclubs or bars, they had photographers that would come around and take a picture of your group, and then you'd pick it up later. So here's one from Pal's Cocktail Lounge and Dining Room in Fort Lauderdale. And inside is a large group of people having a little party, little get-together. So for $1, you got a copy of it. And that is over this page here, which is just some extra writing space there. This is from a sewing manual I have. I like the images in it. And another page from an old magazine. some onion skin paper. Here's a little uptuck with a tag I made that has fabric on it and stitching, and these little paper flowers that I just added a little bit of pearl drop to the center of each one. Vellum pocket, some stitched on trim, and a collage tag with part of a book page on the back. And an old postcard from someplace in California, a mission, I believe. And so in the center here, we have this Tim Holtz paper, and then this envelope, which is stitched in. And it also has a mini journal in it. So here's the mini. It's full of some pages from old cookbooks. These are old book pages that are blank, so I always save those. Some trivia, TV trivia from, I think, the 50s or 60s. And it's actually a picture. This is a reproduction of a picture from my family's photo album. That's my grandmother right there, and her sister, and my great-grandmother. Actually says so on the back, because I think one of my aunts did the genealogy. She actually wrote a book about it. So and there were extra copies, and I asked if I could have them, and she gave them to me. So here's an old vintage envelope from Weisfield's Jewelers. I didn't have to tea stain it. It was already this color. And inside I just put another little notepad with some tea stained paper. These are actually those iron-ons, you know, like they used for making tea towels. You can actually iron some of them onto paper, which is kind of cool. And a collage cover, which kind of looks good peeking through that window in the envelope. So that goes there. And some sewing machine instruction book page, another little pocket with an old receipt for a bus ticket, and a place that explains how to put things on layaway, I believe, at a store, their layaway plan. And this is some handmade paper here that I just made into a little pocket for this tiny little envelope with a little tag on the inside. And a tea tag at the end. Okay, so that's just a little mini journal that I included. Here's one of the Mexican bingo cards, La Dama. I like the way she's dressed, very 40s style. And isn't that cute, that picture on the cover with that little girl knitting? So the envelope is stitched there, and then I put just some little squares of fabric on the strings. And this was a picture from that book where I love the black and white pictures, and I glued these pattern ladies on, and I love the background. It looks very industrial. They're, you know, like some kind of metal making thing, and they're there in their little fancy dresses. Another old postcard, collage tag with some piece of doily sewn on. This is beat dyed paper, onion skin. Love those polka dots. I stitched, it's kind of hard to see the stitching because it's in black thread, but I stitched this picture down. You can see it better on the back side. And a cluster, some collage, old magazine. This is also from the cover of a pattern. This is, I believe, more 60s. An uptuck with this neat journaling card with the Ray-Ban sunglasses. I like those. Children's book page. This was actually an advertisement for butter, but I liked the way those dishes looked, so I cut it out and put this little journaling tag in there. And in the pocket are some beautiful vintage greeting cards. I love this one. Look at this. It opens up like this. Isn't that pretty? I think this one is a Valentine. Birthday. This is a birthday one. And this one is a Valentine one. And it has, I don't know if you can see the glitter on there. So oftentimes people would open these up and write a letter on the inside. And this is actually, the reason I chose this card is because it was a letter between sisters. And this is a little article about how to look your best before the traffic cop. Ladies driving. So pocket with some cutouts here, and then I cut out these little kids from a catalog, I think, and then I put in these three little tickets, like movie tickets. So maybe they're going to get dressed up and go to the movie. I actually used a piece of my new Tim Holtz paper to make this. I decided I needed to break into the pad sooner or later, and I finally did it. And in here, this is also vintage, just kind of falling apart. But I thought these might be these kids dressed up here. There's two sisters, and here we have a sister and a brother in front of an old car. So I suppose that, yeah, so when you got your pictures from the processor, they came in like a glassine envelope like that, which is cool. An old Coca-Cola ad. A lace paper doily here with a little bit of lace sewn on the top. Here's another one of the glamour shots. Constance Bennett. Lillian Harvey, isn't that pretty? It doesn't really show up very well, but in person you can see it. Just some ribbon that was cut like leaves that I added because it kind of went with that. Another one of the pattern cutouts. So here we have another little notebook. So just an old photo and a ticket stuck in there. Some paper, a little bit of decoration. And so this is a luggage tag. It's actually from 1979. It was from the airport where I live, which is North Bend, Oregon. It's still an operating airport, very small. So this is from a catalog also. This is a display of hair dryers, but these are like mannequin heads, but this one is a real head, and it's sitting in the sand, so I thought it was kind of funny. Toasters. They were expensive, $15. So here's a pocket made out of a payment stub, payment ticket. And the rules for a game called Tabol, the game Smart Folk play. And this is one of these old, I don't know what they're called. You had to have some kind of a viewer to look at these cards. I like these because they're in color. So a friend of mine gave these to me. They were in really poor shape. The pictures were just falling off. So I've done some restoration, but of course, the paper, it's all been glued down now. It's secure, but it's very old. I think those are probably turn of the century, I would say. And a little collaged playing card, rook card. Another one of my jelly prints. And so here I just made a pocket by putting this heart, which I did a little doodling on the page, and it's a pocket, and then I added this fussy cut plant. So in the pocket is this, which was part of a card, an Easter card, I believe, and I added those flowers to it. And then, and I just like how it fits in there. And then this lady, which I fussy cut out of a magazine. That's some of the Tim Holtz paper. I took one sheet out and I used it, I made it go a long ways. So she fits right in here with her little book hanging over the edge. Or you can arrange it however you like. I kind of like it how it looks like that. And so another pocket over here with a collage tag. This is some of my eco dyeing on the back. You can see the shape of the flower there. And an old envelope with a little card on the inside. And some beauty tips on putting on your makeup. Facial exercises. And another one of the pattern ladies. And I just love this picture. I don't know what it is, but it's interesting. And then the back pocket here has a card where you keep track of the money you're saving to buy your ring, right? Your diamond bridal ring. So this was, the guy's name is on there, so he was saving his money, putting in $5 each time to buy this ring. And this is a postcard with kind of a love letter on the back, and a little bridal gift tag. So those go there. And that's it. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.